Hello everyone, Namaste. Welcome to episode 2 of Stories from India or Wisdom of India. So, as you all know, last episode we had delved into the realm of music and I explained about the raga called Bilahari. So, this episode I wanted to do something again related to arts and particularly the folk arts of India. So, as much as there is a lot of beauty in classical art forms, such as music, dance, there is a lot of folk cultures that exist in India which are oftentimes unnoticed. And today I want to bring to your notice three quite popular folk art styles which come from various regions of India. The first folk art form we'll be delving into is a folk art called Madhubani art. So, Madhubani art originates from the state of Bihar and the district of Madhubani. It is also known as Mithila art. As you know, Mithila is the birthplace of Devi Sita, and this kind of art is also known to be very popular in that region. Mithila Janakpuri today is in Nepal. So this folk art, like I said, comes from Bihar, and it's usually done in a set kind of a pattern and a color theme. The colors used in Madhubani are generally very earthy because the style of art is very natural, and usually it was to depict ceremonial events such as marriages or any festivities that take place. And I'll be showing you guys a painting that I have done in Madhubani, and there we can further delve into the color themes and the patterns of it. So, the second type of art is the Gond art. And Gond is again a tribal art originating from Maharashtra, India, but it's also today very popular in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and parts of Odisha as well. Gond art is particularly depicting the life of like villages or the kind of nature that surrounds them. However, this art has a scope for imagination in the sense that Madhubani has a set style. Like it only can depict what happens, whereas in Gondat we've seen several examples where it's more imaginative in nature. So it's kind of a dreamy fantasized form of art. Hence, like unlike Madhubani where the colors are earthy and toned out, Gond has very vibrant colors and even more vibrant patterns as well. And you can use more amount of colors in terms of variety than in Madhubani. The third type of art form we'll be delving into is Varli art. Varli again is a tribal art form that is originating from Madhya Pradesh, India. It's also quite famous in Maharashtra. It comes from the Varli tribe of people. This art is known to be one of the oldest forms of art as well. It is almost dating back to the 10th century. And this art is relatively simple in terms of drawing or painting as well because the shapes and figures are much more simpler than in Gond or in Madhubani. And this art is usually done to depict village life and their day to day activities. Now we'll delve into the three pieces that I have done in these particular folk arts. So, what I did was I depicted a story actually of a picture book that I had read. This book is called The Why Girl, and this book is written by Mahashweta Devi. And what I did was I took the story of this book and I wanted to depict scenes from it through different folk art styles. The first one being Madhubani, Gond, and lastly Varli. So we'll just look at the paintings first and I'll take you through what the story is. So as you can see in this painting, like I spoke about the color theme, it's very subtle and earthy. And you can see there's a repetition of around 4 to 5 colors that are used in the entire painting. And the border pattern which is used, which is the leaf and the flower between the red and the green, is also again reused in the girl's dress. So that girl is Moina, or the main character of this particular picture book. And this story is actually set in a tribal region where this young girl longs to get education and longs to, get away from the daily chores and labor that she has to do. In this particular scene, Moina is trying to catch this snake, as you can see. And there's also several patterns on the snake as well. So, animals, humans, regardless of what it is, these folk arts will have patterns on everything. And you can see that the colors here used are very natural and toned down. And even the base is actually created using a tea coat on a white paper. And this is done because in when it was created, the art form used a lot of natural resources to make those colors, hence the colors are very earthly. And the line pattern is very very popular in the Madhubani folk art style, which is why you can see that it's repeatedly being used. So she's holding out her arms in this scene, and actually, in the picture book, there is no shawl over her head, nothing. But since it's the style of Madhubani, I wanted to depict like a Madhubani style girl with a shawl over her head and the skirt and the top. And she's holding out her arms to try catching this snake. And the second painting is Gond art. So in this particular style, I wanted to depict a scene where Moina is pressed with thoughts and her imagination is going boundless. So I divided this painting into two main sections of the light and the dark blue. So the light blue is representing of the day. As you can see, there's a sun, there are birds flying, trees, and there's a girl, which is Moina, who's carrying sticks and continuing with her daily chores. And even her goat is like grazing in the mornings. Whereas if you see, there's a strip of orange as well that is below the blue. So this actually I wanted to use that color to depict the underground or the mud. As you can see, the tree's roots also come down into that particular area to depict the underground. And next to that, you see an animal trying to eat the snake. That is a mongoose trying to eat the snake. And you may not think it looks like a mongoose, but since it's a folk art style mongoose, it can be considered one. So I wanted to also put this in that region just to, create some more space for the other elements of the painting. So, as I said, Gond can be imaginative, it can be more versatile. Hence, I took the liberty to add that patch as well. And coming to the dark blue area, it is representative of the night sky or even the water. So the light blue is the day and the land, and the dark blue is the water and the night. And in this particular scene, you can see how the fishes are slowly transitioning into the stars of the night sky. And this is done specifically because even in the picture book, this particular scene, the girl is wondering how the fishes look like stars in the water. So I wanted to do this transition of how they are stars. It's also done in the book as well like this, but I depicted in the folk art style. And of course the moon to complete how it's depicting the night sky. And as you can see, the colors in this are much more brighter than the ones used in the Madhubani art piece. The base for this piece was white itself. It was not an additional tea coat. And it's the orange and the yellows are repeatedly used in order to bring out that vibrance of the imaginative element as well. And you can see that several repeating patterns are also there in this piece, which is the same because any folk art will be decided on the kind of patterns it's using. So patterns have to be repeated in the style of art. The third style we'll be delving into is Varli art. So Varli art in general, like I mentioned before, it's relatively easier in terms of shapes and how it portrays the life. So, this particular art form was chosen to depict a timeline of the story. So, as you can see in the beginning, there is Moina at her house, and then it transitions to Moina talking to someone, and that other woman is her teacher actually. So, in this particular scene, she's arguing with her teacher that she doesn't want to graze her cow. As you can see, she's holding a rope to an animal which is grazing, and she's asking the teacher and requesting her whether she can come to school. Then this is an interesting part where you can see a small girl figure wondering, like she's putting her hand on her chin. So at this scene, next to that, you can see a man sitting on a bed kind of thing and a boy rearing cattle. So actually, this is Moina's imagination of the boy who's the zamindar's son. And at this point, she's thinking, oh, the zamindar has his own son, right? He's just sitting at home, but he also has his own son. So why can't his son do the cattle work, and why do I have to do it for them? Like, because I want to go to school. And then the last scene above the house you can see is there's a woman showing two children stars and the moon. So this is actually Moina as a grown woman, and she is now a teacher in the same school where she aspired to study. So it's kind of a wholesome ending where she achieves her dreams, and it's a very sweet moment. And that whole transition was just depicted to showcase how nice the story is. And one other element I want to talk about is this common element of the snake that I wanted to bring in all three pieces. So in this Varli art, the line which is supposedly the timeline is depicting the uh, snake kind of a thing. It's in the shape of a snake. And as you can see in this particular style, the shapes are much more simpler. Every animal or person that you want to depict is depicted with a triangular shaped body, which is the main. And since usually the art form is done on huts and houses, this particular base is usually terracotta brown. So when we paint that on paper, we usually paint a base of brown or this very dark blue, and then we paint the images with white paint. So, thank you guys for watching. That was episode 2 of Stories from India or Wisdom of India. This might have been a slightly different episode, but I really wanted to delve into some of the unforeseen parts of our Indian culture since it's a very diverse piece of land. And these folk traditions have been there for ages since the 10th century, like I mentioned. So it was, I felt very important for me to make this video and showcase some of those art styles with paintings that I got the opportunity to learn and do. And I shared about the picture book as well because it is a very, very beautiful picture book which talks about the life of the tribal areas and especially children of those particular tribal areas who aspire for something much more than the life that they are given. And I guess it takes us to think about how privileged and grateful we should be as well, or we should feel as well, because we have um, a lot of privileges that others don't get. So thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed this small snippet about folk arts from India. Maybe in the future you guys can suggest me some more art forms that you know about, and I can definitely do some more research upon these folk arts. Thank you so much for watching. Dhanyavad.